What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about, well, as you can see in the title, I'm going to talk about fasting weight loss, which has actually been pretty fast weight loss for me. What I'm going to continue to do and what I would have done differently if I had it to do over again. Also, as you can tell by the title of the video, I've got a challenge to throw out. And yeah, so let's get to it. All right, so here's the deal. I've lost a little over 60 pounds now, and I came across this concept. It's not a diet. I'm not selling anything for anybody. It's called intermittent fasting, okay? I'd heard about it. I thought it was a gimmick. I thought it was one of those things that I was like, yeah, here's another thing that somebody's selling. When I started researching it, after a buddy of mine, Ben Chancey from Chew on This, mentioned that one of the fishing captains that's a buddy of his had done it and had done it successfully. Hold on, my camera's fogging up. Let me fix that. All right, so that's a little better. When he mentioned that one of his buddies had been doing it, I realized that it was something that I had to at least research. So when I researched it and I figured out that it wasn't something that you're selling, it wasn't a particular type of diet, but it was a concept, then I was more intrigued. So I started watching some videos. Like I've talked about in my past videos, I watched videos from Thomas Delauer, Dr. Berg, Gravity Transformation. All of those will be linked up in the description box below, so you can check them out. I also created a playlist called Chad's Fitness Videos for videos that have given me, dang it, I'm fogged up again. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. So here's the deal. So I watched all those videos, so I decided to create a playlist on my channel called Chad's Fitness Videos. They're not videos of me telling you how to get fit, or at least not yet, but they're more videos that are what I've used, videos that I have found helpful from other YouTubers. In fact, honestly, until I decided to do that, I didn't even know you could make a playlist for other YouTubers. Just kind of shows you what I know. So anyway, there's some good stuff in there, some good content. I definitely recommend it if you have any interest in improving your lifestyle, improving the way you eat, to go check it out. If I had it to do over again, I wouldn't have done intermittent fasting and keto at the same time. But I'm also a hard-headed person. Once I decide to do something, I'm just gonna like go all out, right? So it worked for me. 60 pounds in a little over 6 weeks, which a lot of people will tell you by conventional wisdom is not healthy. I can tell you that I've had 2 doctor's visits along the way. I bought one of those really nice scales that goes with my Fitbit watch, and my body fat percentage is going down, the lean muscle mass is going up, my water composition, all that stuff is all perfect, so I'm not losing just water weight, which is another thing that's really cool about this concept. So I'm doing intermittent fasting. I'm doing apple cider vinegar in the mornings and through about, early noon. I'm drinking black coffee and water and apple cider vinegar. Pretty much that's it. My diet is keto, so I'm eating, a high fat content, moderate protein, and very low carbohydrates, but I'm not no carbohydrates. So that's an important thing to remember. I try to do about 70, 20, 10, 70% fat, 20% protein, and about 10% carbohydrates. And then I just vary my carbohydrate intake depending on how I feel, my activity level, what else I'm doing. But I've learned that fat is as good a source of energy, and in certain situations, a better source of sustained energy. So therefore, I'm sticking with that. But that's not the purpose of today's video. The purpose of today's video is to say, one of the things that I do better at when I train, when I have a goal in mind, is to have an actual thing, an event, a milestone, a challenge to kind of get up for. So if you follow the channel for a while, I did the 100-pound challenge. I called out Flukemaster and a couple of other guys, Jim Salmons, and it all just kind of fell flat because all of us went back to doing what we were doing. So I hang out with Fluke a lot. You guys know that. Gene's a really good friend of mine, and I've actually, in my success, I've watched him struggle. But I also know that Gene is a pretty hardcore guy when it comes to rising to occasions. He's a pretty hardcore guy when it comes to, setting his mind to do something and then turning around and actually accomplishing it. And he is a pretty accomplished dude when it comes to following a particular regimen. All right. So I think he just needs a challenge. Okay. So fast forward a couple weeks. I watched this video from a good buddy of ours, Noah Piscatelli. Noah is Kicking Their Bass TV. And Noah calls out Flair, right? Noah calls out Andrew Flair from the Guggen Squad And let's be honest, Noah doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of Flair responding to that video. What he calls him out for is to ask him to do a boxing match, which is along the lines of the, KSI versus Logan Paul thing. It's an opportunity to take advantage of that trend and get some of that over into the fishing community. So it got me thinking. Gene needs some motivation. I need some motivation. Noah needs somebody to box with because he wants to do this boxing thing. And we know good and well that Flair's not going to respond. We just know it, right? First of all, he's, much higher subscriber count, different mindset, different attitude, and Noah would pretty much mop the floor with him. So that's never going to happen. So what I want to do is I want to help Noah out by finding somebody that will take that fight, right? And here's what the twist is that's different from what Logan Paul versus KSI did. They did it for themselves. They did it for YouTube. They did it to make money. What I want to do is use our platform to raise money. And I want to use it to raise money for a couple of things. But both of them are for the same concept, and that is veterans advocacy groups. And the veterans advocacy groups that we've chosen are Heroes on the Water. So what I'm going to do is I'm calling out Flukemaster right now. Meet me at 205. Right now I'm 260 something. Right now, Gene's probably 250 something, and I'm taller than he is, so I'll have a harder time making it to that weight, but both of us should be about that weight. So I've called him and asked him would he be interested, and he said yes, he would, but he wanted to plan it, and he wanted to, kind of pussyfoot around and get everything right. The problem is that never happens, and that's the reason both of us are where we are right now. So I'm going to go ahead and issue this challenge. I'm going to call out Flukemaster for a boxing match, similar to the whole Logan Paul KSI thing, but I'm not copying what they're doing. I'm using that as an opportunity to take advantage of that trend, to use that to make money, to raise money for a charity that I'm passionate about, Heroes on the Water. I know Gene is passionate about Special Ops Survivor Foundation. We both lost a friend that was part of that whole thing. And the way I look at it is then there's no losers. But there has to be something in it with them, right? What's in it for me, for folks to donate? So we're going to put up 2 bona fide kayaks. Those 2 bona fide kayaks, one is going to be themed Special Ops Survivor, one is going to be themed Heroes on the Water, and we're going to pay for those through Kayak Bass Fishing. And then so Kayak Bass Fishing is donating this to seed the giveaway. And then what we're going to do is we're going to challenge some other YouTubers out there under the premise of fish fight, right? It's going to be a play on words. A fist fight, except it's fish fight, but we're going to box. We're going to do an amateur boxing. We're going to do the headgear, the gloves, all of that stuff. We're going to work with the athletic commission from the city or the state, whatever that we go to. I've got Clay Guida on board and committed to being the special guest referee. And then I want to see if somebody will call out or respond to Noah's call out. And then I want to issue the challenge to any fishing YouTuber out there that wants to become part of this. All you have to do is be willing to help support the 2 charities that we've chosen. That way this doesn't get too convoluted. There's other great charities out there. There's children's charities and animal charities and all that. But this one's for veterans, right? This is what we're using our platform for this thing. But basically, I'm issuing the challenge. I want to get in the ring with Gene. I want to have something to get up for. We're going to give it 6 months. That way we can train. That way it can be legit. That way we can spend some time focusing on diet, focusing on exercise, focusing on sparring, because we're going to stream this thing live on YouTube. So we're going to put up a page for Gene for Special Ops Survivor Foundation. We're going to put up a page for me for Heroes on the Water, and we're going to ask you guys to go donate to those causes. But every entry, every donation automatically enters you in an opportunity to win one of those 2 bona fide kayaks and a grand prize of coming to fish with me and Gene and whoever else the other celebrities are that show up, the other YouTubers that show up at Bienville Plantation after the fight. Whether that's we do the fight in Florida and just go straight there, or we do the fight somewhere else and then we end up rendezvousing in Florida later. My goal is to try to make it to where we can get this fight sanctioned, or these fights sanctioned in the state of Florida, be done with it, roll straight over to Bienville, have some fun, do some fishing. And, I'll be honest with you, man, somebody that fishes with Fluke might not get the best experience because he's probably going to have a hard time, focusing on fishing when he's got a swole up lip, a black eye, and he's still a little bit punch drunk. But anyway, so here's the deal. I'm calling out Flukemaster. I'm calling out anybody in Noah Piscatelli's Kicking Their Bass TV's weight class. And I'm also issuing the challenge to other YouTubers out there. Whether you need to lose weight to get up for this thing or whether you just want something to train for. We're going to do this thing in mid to late February, give everybody 6 months. But it's called Fish Fight, and it's to raise money for charity. And, you know, everybody can come see Flukemaster get knocked out. All right, Gene, what you say? You in or you out?